Yeah. Howl at them in some more. Posers. Oh, hello. And here's another wonderful person to ogle at me, I guess. What do you want exactly? Yes, I can talk. Why would I not be able to talk? Oh, because werewolves are these beasts that lose control of themselves at the full moon. Yeah. I'm not bored of hearing that nonsense at all. Look, this is not convenient for me, okay? Every time there's a full moon, I have the incredible urge, and I mean, I can't explain urge, to run and hunt sheep, which is why I can't live in the countryside. Farmers would miss so much of their livestock, and I am very, very tired of having to try and, comb giant bits out of my teeth. Look, okay, that's not really the point. Thing number 1, who are you? Thing number 2, why are you talking to me? Thing number 3, why are you talking to me? Thing number 4, I'm a giant wolf, why are you talking to me? Why, yes, it is a convincing costume. It's a very convincing costume. Do you want to know why that is, Little Red Riding Hood? I'm not going to blow your house down, I'm going to eat everyone you love, except I'm not. Yes, lycanthropes can be sentient. Admittedly, it is rarer than the imbecile kind. There's a lot of theories as to what makes one a sentient lycanthrope. I like to think it's just not being an idiot, but that's maybe just me. I'm not the only one by any means, although I am the only one here. As much as the kinship of understanding what's going on is a thing, it's usually the best idea that we're not in the same place at the same time. We'd be too tempted to hang out, and in that case it would be, well, I don't think your average news crew would be able to explain a few giant hulking wolves walking into a local bar. So sometimes you're best left to run out in the wild and try to avoid the sheep. Yes, well, we like to call ourselves a werewolves, and when I say like to, I mean I hit them when they try and say that, because it's a terrible pun and they should be embarrassed. I'm going to be honest, I don't think I've ever spoken to a furless in this form before. I don't think one's ever stuck around long enough to say hello. Usually it's all, please don't eat me. And usually I'm sitting there like, not if you were the last person on Earth. Why is it that people assume that we're cannibals? I mean, well, to be fair, I don't know what it is the idiots do with their time. All I know is I've never had the urge to eat a person. Too much toxins. I mean, let's all be honest about it. Do you imagine that human meat would be any fun to eat? I know we smoke fish and things like that, but yeah, this kind of exposure to chemicals is not ideal. The cutting irony, presumably somewhere in the back of every soccer mom's head, is that the meat of their child is far less regulated and well controlled than the meat that they will consume. Perhaps the average soccer mom does not have the intelligence to come up with such an idea, but, well, that's not my problem, is it? Speaking of my problem, I would hope you're not about to become it. Forgive me, but the idea of simple curiosity. I have no idea who you are. Perhaps you're a journalist looking for the scoop of the century. Banner headlines with proof werewolves exist. No, it's not a marketing stunt for a video game. Werewolves really exist. Here's one. I've got him in a cage. And I will show him to you. And you will point and stare at the freak. Because that is what I think most humans would do, given the chance. How did I become a werewolf? Oh well, there's a big waiting list. I mean, you think getting to Oxford and Cambridge is hard? Boy, you should try getting to the Lycanthrope Club. I mean, there's an interview, there's HR people to deal with. It's all very unpleasant, I must say. How do you think? It's almost become annoying, Halloween. And when I say almost, I mean definitely. All these stupid little kids running about, I'm a werewolf. Oh sure, it's fun for you at Halloween. I have to deal with this all the time. Do you have any idea how much having fur will stink up your apartment? You get cabin fever like a restless dog when you transform. Oh, it's just... But, I will say, running about feeling the moon on your back is honestly quite liberating. I'm also quite a lot fitter than I used to be when I was a pure human. Probably because the running about feels better than any narcotic you could possibly imagine. It's like the runner's high boosted up to 11. Little human, you seem to be, well, forgive a wolf for his bluntness. You seem to be keen on me. I have heard of people who are monster effers. Apparently they love the idea that if a monster or many monsters were real, sentient ones, human ones, they would find that exciting. Ooh. And, well, I have long since given up on the idea of a relationship. As you can imagine, some people have secrets. Some people have skeletons in their closet. I would have to stick most partners in my closet before I transform, and that would be the least suspicious way to deal with my problem. How to explain to someone you're dating that you're not going to be around every time there's a full moon. The sad thing is, there's probably worse thoughts going through their head than they're a werewolf. They won't believe in werewolves. They'll think you're part of some weird cult. I'm actually, not doing too well right now. I have a rather large cut, which, I mean, for a wolf means nothing, but it's smarting. My fur is matted with blood. Oh, I'd rather not talk about it, but there were people who were very, very insistent in a big gang that this was a costume, and they tried to cut me out of it. Someone will have to cut their little picture out and put it on a milk carton soon. I don't think you should be too worried about the fact that they're gone. They were, to say the least, unbelievably aggressive unbelievably quickly. I doubt I was the only person they've harassed on that night. I doubt I was the one who got the worst of it. In terms of a line of bodies, I'm fairly confident theirs is longer than mine. And mine is far more selective. The television show Dexter should give you an idea of what I do. I try and use my abilities in order to correct certain mistakes that the law can't fix. And in my day job, well, does it really matter? I make YouTube audios. For all you know, who cares? The real question is, how are you going to deal with the idea of the duality of being even around someone that's... I'm a difficult person to have as a friend. And I know because, well, because I do, that your instinct points you somewhere very different. How do I know? How does a dog know that a dog's in heat? Amazingly, in wolf form, we all have the ability to tell when a human is, well, thinking a certain way, shall we say. And, given my condition, it's very difficult when one such as yourself that is appealing, clearly has thoughts flowing through your mind. It becomes very, very difficult for me to hold back. It's almost impossible. I see you and I just want to... Well, maybe one day soon you will meet a charming man who seems to have a little bit of a dark side, and maybe that man will be who you hope he is. But for now, I think it's best for you to forget all about this. It was just a dream. You refuse. I will say this a different way then. You will put this behind you. You will do it now. And maybe one day I come to find you. If you persist at this moment, I will grow suspicious. And you will grow unable to breathe. The instinct in this form to attack a perceived threat is truly overpowering. So I would suggest making sure I cannot perceive you as a threat. Do you understand? Good. Now be on your way, little human. The moon is still high and I have much in terms of energy to still expend. And many people who deserve my, well, unwanted attention far more than you do. You require a very different kind of attention. Though you will have it one day. Don't you fear.